Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company podcast. I'm Dane Hennen. To my right, Levi Gates.
Hello, my bearded brother.
Hello, hello, and I'm loving the beard struggle, by the way. Doing a great job with my beard. Feels great.
Did you use coupon code Levi15 to get 15% off all your items at thebeardstruggle.com?
Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit it was actually worth it.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with it. All right, and to my left, Anthony Fisher.
Hello, my fellow bearded friends as well. I'm also working on a little bit of something myself.
I want to see you actually grow. I think it'd be fun if you grew a beard.
I can't because I have bald spots. And
it's all right. I have bald spots too. You just got to grow them long enough.
Yeah, no, actually, he's right. I've been noticing it's been filling in my normal, like, little patchy areas. It's been working.
The beard
and you got
struggle has?
and you got the brush.
It, and I've
so
been
you've
using,
been brushing and stimulating.
I know the oils
growth.
and serums and all that stuff. You kind of roll your eyes at it, but like truly, there seems to be a slight difference.
Dane said his beard has never felt so good.
Oh, it's true.
Wow.
No itchiness, no nothing. It's just nice.
Well, I just
feels
want my
nice.
mustache to grow out again.
Yeah, we could hold off with that.
You could grow. What you could do is grow a beard, and then when you're ready, you shave off the beard, keep your mustache.
Well, it's like a Trojan
Once
horse.
it
You grow
grows
the
mighty.
beard, and people are like, and then you shave off the beard, but you leave the mustache, and people are like, oh, you made it in. Ooh. Okay.
See, I like
so-
mine to tuck over and like be like what I call
In your mouth? Sick.
a soup duster.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, no, I
Quick question.
cut around that
Are
on
we
purpose.
currently live or is this not live?
This is live.
Oh, where's our
We are
feed at?
live. There are people
There's no
watching
chats
us right
on these
now.
screens
There's no
over
chats
here,
on these
so we
screens.
don't
How
know.
do we
Yeah.
get the chats on these screens,
I've
Dane?
got chats. They need to turn these screens on. We need to turn those on. But here's the first one I've got. First from Puerto Rico.
well,
Hello,
Humberto.
TRC team.
Very nice.
It's just nice to know people are watching. How do I turn this TV on? What is there?
There's a
So-
remote on the back. But in the meantime, Levi,
do we have any
why don't
housekeeping
you?
that we got to do? Do we got to talk about anything?
We're not
really.
very
It's
organized
the-
this morning.
No,
Okay.
but it's
I got housekeeping.
okay. Go ahead. Tell us some housekeeping
Thanks for having
stuff.
me, Levi. So some housekeeping, right? This is something I like to do every week, where I put on the gloves, I grab perhaps a duster,
Some
I
Fresh
put
Up
on
for Men.
put on something comfortable, right? Something I can really stretch out in,
Right, yeah.
And I start getting into all the cracks and crevices around the
Okay.
house.
All right. I like
Really working on my stretches, right? And sometimes I have an
that.
audience.
Sometimes you do squats. Sometimes you don't.
Yeah, sometimes I don't. So, anyways, for today's housekeeping, things that we need to cover. A, the Grand Ambassador applications are closed. Done.
Oh, they're done.
I'm
Closed.
currently in the
They were open for one whole week.
currently in
You
the
gave
judging
them every
process.
chance.
And the judging process, I'm not gonna lie, man. So I'm going through, and we have some big hitters in this.
It's a strong field this time. It's been impressive.
Yeah, it's been impressive. I mean, all the people that have applied. I mean, we have just a lot of people that I think will be awesome for the job, and I think that we got it's just a lot. It's a lot of applicants that I'm going through, and but just a lot of like really good feeds. And typically, I'm judging. I look for the quality of the feed, the quality of the post, how often they're posting, their interaction, everything like that. And it's kind of crazy just because they everything looks good. I mean,
Good.
I'm gonna have to be very picky this time around and really really judgy, as I should say. So
Okay.
but that's the first thing. Second thing, right? The Dabbler Details giveaway
Oh,
is
yeah.
still live. That is still a thing happening. So if you go to dabblerdetails.com/giveaway, right, spend $5, enters you into winning over $1,300 of detailing products.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow. Great
$5.
deal.
Now, where does all that money go to? It goes to the Barstool Foundation for businesses that have been
100%.
affected by COVID, right?
Yeah.
So here we go. Dabbler Support
Bam.
Small Business Giveaway. There it is on the screen there, so you can see it, benefiting the Barstool Fund. So all the money raised by this is going to basically any business or businesses that have been affected by COVID.
Yeah.
Barstool has raised over $37 million, and they've helped these businesses out tremendously. So it's $5. You just go buy an entry. Chances are, you'll have good chances. Buy as many as you want, and again, you'll win $1,300 of product potentially. And if not, you've made a great donation to
it's a good cause.
A
Yeah,
good
you
cause.
still feel good about it.
So go and check it out. dabblerdetails.com/giveaway. It'll be open for I think one more week, less than a week. But so far so good. They've he's been able to raise a ton of money for this foundation. I think it's just fantastic. It's definitely going above and beyond. So anyway, next housekeeping thing that we have here at the Rag Company HQ is that we are starting to tear into the Subaru again. We had to take a little break there for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going with this.
Oh, you do?
No. Go for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I was just like, huh? Oh. Yeah.
So we're gonna be tearing into the Subaru here pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Because we're doing some fun stuff. We have some
we got some fun things happening.
we have some very fun things happening. I think you guys are gonna love it. You guys are. I think that this.
Should we tell them about it?
Let's tell them because we need people
Do you
to know
wanna
about it
tell
so
them
they
about
show
it?
up.
We can. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's
Want
2
people to
weeks
be
away.
Then
showing
Levi,
up.
it's
Let's
2
get the
weeks
start
away.
of it.
I'll let you lay it out
All right.
like a pancake. Go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, April 12th through the 16th,
Oh wow.
we have a cavalcade of stars coming down to the Rag Company Media Building
What?
to spend the week
No way.
throwing down on TRC Rex.
Oh my
Who might we
gosh.
see there?
Well, Dane, like I said, a cavalcade of stars. You know them. You
It's
love
that
them.
word.
You've got Dr. Shine himself, Dylan Von Kleist,
Wow. Wow.
showing up.
Amazing.
We've got the Sandman, Jason Kilmer,
Oh my goodness.
in the
Are
house.
you kidding me, Jason
Wow.
Kilmer?
We've got Davey P,
No way.
Davey.
The man.
JDM legend.
JDM legend Davey P
Wow.
from Oberk, formerly of Lake Country,
This is amazing.
coming to help throw down. We've got the great Eric Joseph from
No
G-Technic
way.
coming as well.
We've seen Eric a
Yeah.
few times.
We
lately. We haven't
have
seen a lot of these guys in a long time.
Mr.
though.
Car Guy Supplies himself, Jason Otterness,
What?
What?
coming as well
Chicago
No.
Auto
to
Pros
spend
guy.
some time.
Jason.
And
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, the dude that always delivers and is the second best detailer in all of Madison, Wisconsin,
Holy cow.
Oh wow.
Buck Hoogaboom.
No
Yeah,
way.
Buck.
Wow.
Also, Mr. Subaru himself coming to drop, a little sauce on the Subaru.
He's
So
going to make sure we're riding second best.
that's right.
Yes.
So we've got the whole gang coming to spend the week, and what we're going to be doing is actually doing some videos, having some fun. We're going to be sanding, polishing, coating that whole car. So we got a lot of parts that
that's
got
a lot
painted.
to do,
We
yeah.
got a lot of parts that got painted, and they still need to be sanded and compounded and polished. They need to be finished. They weren't finished straight out of the gun. So we've got a couple things we got to take care of. We got some dust nibs. We've got a couple drips we got to take care of.
Totally.
And the whole thing needs to look like glass.
Yeah.
So bringing in the gang to help work on that. The rest of the car needs to be heavily polished and prepared for coating. So we're going to be having a team work on that. We're basically got everybody here for that week. We're going to split up and just work on stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a great time. And here's the other thing. Thursday's Q&A
Yes.
on the 15th of April,
Gonna be
tax
poppin'.
day, is going to be off the charts.
Tax day's been extended by a month.
Packed house.
Oh, yeah. Tax day is not on the 15th. Traditionally.
Yeah, traditionally, yeah.
Historically.
But best part about it is we're going to have all those guys here live on the Q&A
Wow.
for Thursday. So you guys can submit your questions.
How are we going to fit them all in
Again,
here?
a cavalcade of stars.
That's amazing.
It's going to be
I
great.
Can't believe it, Levi.
Really
Wow.
excited. We've also got Troy Klinkenbeard of Rupes is going to be there.
Heck
And
yeah.
Mr. G Technique himself,
Oh.
2019, Juan Gonzalez.
Juan. Yes.
So,
Wow.
a couple more guys to fill out that roster. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going
We're
to
gonna
be able
need
to
some
hang
more
out.
chairs.
We are.
That
It's going to be
is
pretty packed. I don't think we can all fit in this room. So we may have to
Yeah,
do it
no,
out
we're
there.
probably going to.
But point is, that's what's coming up. We're going to have them here for that whole week. They're going to be staying at the Home to Suites by Hilton. They're going to be
Oh,
enjoying
what a-
some delicious Pepsi beverages.
As if we would
Wow.
give them any other accommodation.
That's right.
That
That's
is
right.
the place.
That's
to
right.
be when you
Sponsors,
visit.
wow. The
they're going to be
Rag Company is
enjoying
amazing.
themselves,
For the Rag
having a
Company.
great
Do you
time.
think that they're going to make up some Rag Company cookies again for the
I
guests?
don't know, but I
hope they
hope
do.
so.
I'm curious
I
to
can reach
find
out to
out.
the girls and
Those
let them
sugar
know that they're
cookies
going to
are
be coming.
delicious
A
and
lot of folks-
prepackaged.
Yeah,
They are
Substantial
amazing.
Delightful.
number of guests.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that is amazing. Levi, thanks for that housekeeping quick tip right there. I enjoyed that.
So get excited.
Without further ado, other things that we want to cover here. As you can see on the table today, we have a variety of PNS coatings here. And we wanted to just briefly touch upon these because I know that we have released something new and we haven't really talked about it a whole lot. And I want to just kind of
Lot of questions.
cover the basics here for anybody that's new to this.
So
and
make sure
wondering.
you go check out the ragcompanypodcast.com if you're listening so you can take a look and see what we got on the table here.
Visually see this. Okay, so first off, what we have, I'm going to work my way on 2, then Levi's going to grab the other 2. So first off, we have the Inspiration glass coating, right? So this was introduced.
It's called View, Inspiration View.
People mostly know it by View.
I'm just going to call it Inspiration glass coating,
that's
right?
fine.
Because it's the easiest thing to do.
Right.
But okay, fine. For visual reference,
If
View.
you've heard of View, it's the same thing.
View with not spelled traditionally. VUE is actually how they spell it. And so this is a glass coating made by PNS. Basically, if you've used glass coatings before, you know what they're all about. Basically, you're going to have superior water repellency. You are going to have a little bit of abrasion resistance, so maybe less likely to chip, but I'm not saying it's bulletproof by any means. And these are friendly for windshield wipers. When it comes to coating your windshield with other coatings that are not specifically for a windshield, they cannot hold up to windshield wipers. Basically, they will start to wear in that area, and they cannot handle that resistance. So basically, View glass coating, it's easy to apply. We do have a video out on it. I think it's either on a product page or do you remember where it's at? We did shoot a video on it with Sydney.
It's on our
View.
live.
Is
that
it
we
on the
did.
live?
Well, we've got a video
TRC
that we
mode?
did with Sydney.
Yeah.
With the whole team. It's just on our product video. Then we also have a live in which Sydney actually does it and puts it on the Suburban.
Cool. Okay. All right. So the next step is going to be the traditional Inspiration coating. Me and Levi have both had this on our cars. I had that on the Civic for roughly 2 years with one application. And I think it even kept going. I had to actually remove what was left over of the coating before doing something else. Levi's had this on his wife's Camry you had it on there for what, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years. And that was one application.
Yep.
So we got our hands on it when it first came out. It was a little bit difficult to use, and then they've kind of made some changes to it over the last couple of years to make it easier to apply. But this is hands down probably one of the hardest coatings that I've used in comparison to all the other big major brands.
Hard as in strength.
Hard as in strength, yeah, not hard as in hard to apply.
Candy shell type.
It has extreme swirl resistance in comparison to a lot of the other coatings that I've used.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've used a lot here. We test them out all the time. And it's one of those things to where I didn't realize how good it was until by the time I was able to remove it. And then I put on a new coating and I realized, dang, that previous one was actually a lot more swirl resistant than I thought it was. And so, anyways, Inspiration is fantastic. I tell people that if you're looking for a 2 to 3 year coating, for the price, for the work, it's awesome, and adds a lot of depth. And when you use PNS Speedmaker with it, man, really locks in the flavor.
Nice.
Yeah. We have Shelby here says, how many applications of View per bottle? Oh my gosh, how many windshields do you think you do?
You can do a couple of them.
I'm probably guessing maybe.
Actually, I think it's
like
30 mils.
It's 30
in
mils
that?
in the spot. Yeah,
So
30
it's
mils.
quite a bit. You could probably get at least a dozen windshields out of that, I think.
Depending on the size, I would say you can do at least a dozen, because with View, you're not laying it on super thick. You guys have to remember that. Basically, what you're doing is, and once you're applying it, the applicator, and then after you apply it, you're waiting for it to flash, and then you're wiping off with a towel. A lot of that residual View product will actually spread in the wiping process with the towel, so you don't need to have a really thick coverage.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Glass is only so porous to where it can only accept so much stuff. So,
and then the one other from Kirby Thompson there.
It says, does View work well on the SUV rear glass to promote shedding of nasty rain back spray? So I've yet to use it on anything on the rear. However, this is something that I'd probably put on my wife's 4Runner, because the 4Runner, it just accumulates
Super filthy back there.
much stuff back there. I would probably use this on the back of there just to have it on, just to make it easier to clean in the first place, because it gets so caked on. I'm talking like thick.
Yeah.
To where if there was a coating on it, I would feel much more confident in just spraying it down with water, right? Squeegeeing off or wiping it off with a towel and just calling it good and sending her on her way, because, again, I can't keep that car too clean. I start to lose my mind. So anyways, but yeah, View's great. It's a great glass coating. I think that, G-Technic also has a great glass coating. It's just a matter of kind of just picking one and going with it. And some people aren't fans of glass coating. That's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's other people that just like to do bead maker on their windshield every day, or C2V3 or whatever it is. And if you want to do it that way, you can too. Because glass coating is just a little bit more of a process, but it is well worth it. So, Levi, what do you got over there?
Well, I'm going to start on this side. So we got Inspiration. So again, Inspiration is the family of coatings.
Right.
So you've got traditional Inspiration ceramic coating. Then you've got View for your windshield. This is Soul. Soul is a
S-O-U-L?
S-O-L-E.
Oh,
So
interesting.
Soul means that it can be a yearly by itself or can be used as a topper for either standard Inspiration or this other coating, Legend.
Could I put it on top of you, since people are going to probably
I'd
ask?
probably say no.
Okay.
So
because it's not as resistant.
It's not as
this
resistant
is by
as
itself.
Inspiration. So Soul, we put it on the Suburban.
Yep.
Over the top of the vinyl wrap. It seems to be doing really well. I've been running it through a car wash a couple times just to make sure that that it's holding up a little bit.
Sure.
Very, very simple, easy to apply. If you're looking at wanting to apply something for a customer that gives them very nice, strong protection, Soul is one of those products that you could start adding and applying because it is a 1-year coating.
Okay.
So more so, I try to remember this as you get the benefits of the coating, but it's more of like a replacement for a paint sealant,
So
like a 1-year sealant. If
say
you're
I
looking
was
for
like,
something for
like
long
a
term.
fan of Optimum Gloss Coat. Used that previously on a car. Something.
Correct.
This is like a good kind of lateral move. This is that kind of similar product where it's a
Yes.
coating, but it's not like one of these crazier heavy duty
Yeah,
coatings.
this
It's a coating
anybody
that'll last you
I can
like a year.
I can give this to your mom and she can put it on
she
her
can do
car
it.
on the
Yeah.
weekend in the garage and have no issues.
So user friendly.
very very simple, very easy. This is a product you
just-
could give to your parents and be like, "Hey, go coat your
Yeah.
lawnmower, go coat your
So I
that's
guess
all your
ridiculous.
stuff."
to
It's
somebody
something, one of those things you could do.
to somebody who's never used any of these, what makes Soul coating easier than like the original Inspiration or some of these others? Just
Well,
like what makes
chemically
it easier.
they're similar yet different.
I think that
same, but
there's
different.
less.
In the
I
process,
think
I
that
mean.
there's less solids in
Yes.
Soul,
Okay.
which makes it easier to apply, and the flash off is very long. I mean, basically
Correct.
because there's less solids, it's less things to basically start to activate once it's in the air. It kind of what Soul reminds me of, honestly. So it reminds me of the user-friendly ability that OptiSeal has, right? In terms of like that slickness that it provides. But you can tell you are applying something thicker to the surface. Like OptiSeal is very, very thin. This is much thicker than that. But what would you describe the experience as from a
it's refreshing.
smelling perspective?
Refreshing
Aromatic.
because it's a bit of a menthol scent.
A
Minty.
bit of a menthol
kind of a
scent.
pepperminty.
It is all of the
It's all
scents,
menthol.
of
man.
It
menthol.
clears the nostrils in a good way, though.
It
Not in a
is-
bad way. It's got a nice, fresh scent.
You were at a day spa when you were applying that.
Yeah.
I was. So this is one of my favorites.
You love
I'm
it, I know.
impressed with how easy this is. This is one of those products that I used to say when I did cars, I'd kind of cheat the system. I'd get those cars that would come in every 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Customers that I never really had to clean their car. It was already really clean.
Yeah.
I'd throw a easy coating. I used to do gloss coat. This is what I would have thrown this on their car. Why? Because they were also my best marketers. They would take their car was always clean, even though it was a lot of them. They would go, "Man, your car's always clean. How do you keep it clean?" And I go, "Oh, that's they'd say that Levi, our detailer, he does that kind of stuff, But this just ensures that car looks even cleaner, looks nicer, stays longer. And half the time it takes the same amount of time to install View as it would a traditional paint sealant. So
Yeah.
at that point, why wouldn't you do that for the added benefit of knowing that the car's going to look better, stay cleaner, and have better protection?
Yes, and that's what my leading questioning was about, was to help people understand what some of the differences are, where they think, oh, the chemical makeup and such, whatever, what makes something easy? Well, it's things like, okay, the amount of time you have to work with a product,
Yeah, you have
how
a lot
it
of
feels
time.
when you're actually, moving
Like I
it
said, this is a
around.
very easy coating to install.
Forgiving is probably the
Very
best way
forgiving,
to
very easy. It's
frame
also what we refer to as cannibalistic.
Yes.
Meaning that if you leave a little spot on there and you miss it, and you're like, "Oh, I forgot to get that," you can put this back on,
And it
rub a little
eliminates
more
it.
on,
Yeah.
and then wipe it off,
Levels it out.
Yeah.
and have no issues.
And
so
by contrast,
where that
the original inspiration
is not
you in
cannibalistic.
your testing
Yeah.
found, oh, don't get too far ahead of yourself.
Don't
You
put
create
more
high
on.
spots.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
You
locks
need to
it in.
handle
Locks it in.
the
It's
spot
there
you've
forever.
created, work with that,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then work out from there. But only work in small areas at a
Correct.
time, because
Yep.
people like to get ahead of themselves,
Exactly.
thinking every product is as easy to use as that. Where if you learn, you can do an awesome job with that
Well-
stuff. It's just a matter of building that experience.
Right.
And,
yeah.
and to be fair, man, the surface tension of inspiration is of just the original is insane. I mean, right off the bat, that was my first experience ever seeing. I think I explained this on a podcast. I had applied inspiration to my car, right?
Yeah.
It baked overnight. I pulled it out the next morning. I was checking for high spots. I had high spots, because I did it without proper lighting. But anyway, I pulled it out, and that was the day that I said, oh, I got to turn my sprinklers on, right?
Yeah.
And I go to turn my valve, right, with my thing, and I pop off this dirty, murky water, right? Dude, it flew up in the air, right?
And landed on the car.
Landed on the car and went off. Like literally not a
Just
drop of it
immediately.
on the car. And I go, oh my God.
What?
That's incredible. Like it didn't bead.
Yeah.
It didn't sheet.
No, it just
literally just
repelled
fell.
it.
It
Yeah.
was like,
Bite.
oh my God. And it was a ton. It was like a huge amount. And I couldn't believe it. It was like, wow, inspiration, man. It's crazy surface tension right off the bat. So Levi, cover
So that
legends
leads
real
us
quick.
to
Basically, though, in conclusion, you can use inspiration, then top it with soul if you like, or you can use soul on its own.
Shelby
now,
did have a quick question. Sorry, not to throw you off.
you can't do
It's
six.
it's not a
can't do
yeah.
extra coats.
Yeah, it's not a
So-
multiple coat product. It's a one coat
Yeah,
product.
so one coat. So it's a year. At the end of that year, you can add another coat.
So
it's gonna
no
be
multiple
fine.
and, but
coats.
yeah,
Or
but
polish it and coat it again.
and you could also throw in another layer 6 months down the road. I mean,
Yeah.
basically the beauty of Soul is that your car. I mean, with knowing our customers,
but it's
with
got to
how-
be
with-
cured. If it's not cured
Well,
yet, then it's still
well,
cannibalistic.
What I'm saying is not even that. I'm saying just with how many people are applying bead maker and everything else like that
Right,
so
yeah.
often. Even if you were to do a Soul application and then just top it with bead maker for 6 months to a year, that coating is still going to be there. Then what's the worst thing you have to do? Your paint's still clean. You probably don't have to polish it. It's
Yeah.
probably not contaminated. You want to give it a quick clay, paint prep it, throw more Soul on it, and call it good.
Yeah.
And that's about as easiest maintenance as you can get while still having technically a ceramic coating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So finally,
Okay.
the
Here it is.
new hotness on the block.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps asking.
Legend. Now, Legend is PNS's newest coating. It's kind of their 60-year anniversary as a chemical company. It's their swan song,
It's a big
so to
dog.
speak. So they took all the benefits of inspiration. They took some of the ease of application from Soul, and they made a new super strong coating. This coating has a 41% increase in solids over standard inspiration.
So
Yeah.
it's thick with two C's.
Thick. And here's the deal. One of the great things about Legend, it's a 5-year coating.
Well, yeah.
Now, Anthony and I, when we put on inspiration was, they said, it's a good 2-year coating if you do a couple coats. It has the potential to last a little longer, but we're going to say it's 2 years. Anthony got a good 2 years out of one coat. I got almost 3 years out of one coat. If I would have done the 2 coats of inspiration, I probably could have gotten 3-4 years with proper washing. The group of PNS are basically saying the same thing with this. They're saying you can do a coat of Legend or 2 coats of Legend and a coat of Soul if you like. Or you can do 2 coats of Legend standalone. They're saying easily you'll get 5 years out of this.
They tend to underrate.
Based
so.
on that, to me, I easily think, and this is my opinion, I feel that you could probably get 7 years out of this product.
Oh, I think
They won't call
Easy.
it that, but this could very
They
well
won't
be
say
like
that,
their
but
7-year
I will
coating.
just say, based on experience with the inspiration line,
if it
coatings that-
holds to the same as the others.
that same
do.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's always not a under promise, over deliver kind of thing. Like, you know, we'll tell you it's 5 years. You're probably going to get 7 years.
Porsche
out
with
of
their
it.
0 to 60 times.
Yeah.
Very like modest. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, it'll do this.
It's a
and
good
then people
coating. It
actually
lasts
try
5
it.
years.
Whoa.
So here's the deal: you could do this and this in your six years out the gate, ready to rock and roll. This product, I probably think what's going to happen. Now, we don't have enough seat time behind it. We don't have
you wanna have
enough
some
real
more.
world testing behind it. I do want to put this on my wife's Camry because my Camry doesn't have anything on it
did
right
it before
now.
with that one.
It
Do
doesn't
it
have
again.
anything on it.
Yeah.
I took off the original Inspiration. Right now, it's just running Beadmaker and Uno Protect.
Yeah.
Right.
But I imagine this to be just as equally hard, if not harder, than Inspiration in terms of strength, which we all know is great because Augie likes to drive things down the side of a car. And with the added benefit of its chemical resistance, its gloss, because one thing Inspiration does really well, pops gloss like nobody's business.
Man,
Oh,
those-
it's
And then on
stupid
top of that,
gloss,
still being
yeah.
able to use Beadmaker, still being able to use Soul, all that stuff on top. It's a real winner to have that and be able to utilize that. So that's,
agree
I know
more.
we've everyone's been asking,
Yeah.
you know, we've been kind of being quiet about it. Gabe's little silver car that he just bought, we did half the car in Legend and Soul. So we did half of it with the Legend with a top coat of Soul and the other half in CSL. So
We'll have ourselves.
we'll
a
let
little
him see.
comparison.
We'll let him play with it. I'm gonna put Legend on my car and really get some numbers behind it. You know, some real world testing,
That's how legends
so
are
to
made.
speak. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. It's exactly how it
like that.
works.
Okay.
So, all right. So that's it. Hey, Finish Line Shine Auto Detailing. Question for the Master of Shine:
good one.
what are the 3 best detailing tips for a young entrepreneur as far as efficiency? Education, education, education.
That's it. All right. So we got to
Honestly.
move on to weekends now. Dane, what did you do this weekend?
Oh, what I always do. Tried to clear out the side yard of more junk. Remember
What
last
did you
week?
find? What are some of the treasures that you found back there?
Last week,
Did you find
you'll
a body, a
recall,
coffin?
there was some stuff over in my side yard, which I'm
found,
gonna have.
to recall, last week you
There's a
found a
spoked wheel.
spoked wheel from some
The
sort of
1800s.
from the
Yes.
1800s,
Not quite.
and
but
then
yeah.
you found some sort of barrel smoker that had been put in your backyard and had been overtaken.
Yeah, it was like an
by the
oil
weeds.
drum to barbecue conversion.
That you
Was there any
yourself,
birds in there?
You yourself,
No.
but you yourself
But
did not put that
hornet's
back
nest
there.
maybe.
That's the question.
So the point was, the stuff was over my side yard. We laughed about it last week because it's like, man, Dane, you got some ridiculous stuff over there. And this weekend I decided, okay, time to get this stuff out of here. I'm going to have cement going through here soon. I want to expand my driveway, create that third driveway space that everybody loves so much. For those of us with only
delicious.
2 garage spots, it's nice to have that little extra
Yeah,
pad.
I love it. You know, I park my cars diagonally on that pad.
Yeah, there you go. It looks cool, like showroom position, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I needed to get rid of this junk, and that's mostly what I did with the early part of my weekend was finding that tire, which funny little thing about that. I got the tire, I got the barbecue, I got an old like Coleman cooler and some other random things, an old umbrella, just random stuff I found in that side yard. I don't know how it wound
Like you're
up
going to
there
the beach
necessarily.
for the
yeah,
barbecue
kind of,
and
little
a
bit.
cooler and a umbrella.
Old rug, old tarp, old lawnmower,
Oh.
old Murray.
Nice.
Yeah, loaded that stuff into the Tacoma and took it up to the landfill. And when I got to the gate at the landfill, I was at the little kiosk. You know, they have that little voice box.
Yeah.
You talk to the person inside.
Yeah.
This lady was fascinated by that wheel tire in the back of my car. She's like, is that from a Model A? Is that a Model A tire? Wow. Is that a Model A wheel? And I was just like, oh okay. You really like that?
You should have sold that, Dane.
Sure. And she's like, yeah, no, that's really cool. So if you have a tire, you're going to go up here. And she kind of gave me the direction. It's a little different than the regular
Yeah.
dump. I'm like, all right. And
Yeah,
she's
they
like, oh, I
space it
noticed you
out.
have a
There's
grill
different
too.
stuff.
It's like, yeah. And she goes, that also goes as, and I'm like, okay. So I figured it out. I got over there. And as I was pulling out the gate, she hadn't turned her mic off yet. She turned to the people behind her. You could hear her like turn her chair and be like, did you guys see that Model A wheel? Like, oh my God, this was...
She's going to go back and get it on her lunch
Yeah.
break.
All I could think was, wow, how boring must it be in that little booth? Oh, no.
So, was it a Model A wheel, Dane? Do you have a picture of that wheel? Because I'm wondering if you just threw away something that could be worth a couple $100.
$1,000.
I'm sure to somebody it was worth it, but from what I saw, it was more rust than wheel.
Right, but you never know. People are into that kind of antique, shabby chic.
Well,
kinda
it went over to
style.
their tire and wheel
Well,
recycling
you can't
area.
take anything out of
so-
the dump once you put it there.
No, you can't. It's
Can you
already
really
there.
not?
Yeah.
How do they know though?
Well,
Oh,
your weight when
everybody
you-
will see
yeah.
you. Trust me. They got cameras on everything.
Crap,
It's
they do have
yeah.
weight. Couldn't you say I had a change of heart?
Yeah.
And they're
No,
like,
I mean when you
You already brought it in, dude.
You can leave like if you have stuff you're not going to dump.
Yeah, you just
But-
leave it in your truck.
Yeah, you leave it in your truck, but you can't like drive over to another thing and grab a couple things and then
I know.
Yeah,
leave.
you can't suddenly arrive there, change your mind, and go shopping. Like they
Guys,
don't want you to do that.
But is there nothing more exhilarating than opening up the back of your truck and tossing stuff out
it's
the
best.
back?
I love it.
It's amazing,
That's
man.
partly
fun
why I
thing.
enjoy
Like-
doing this. Is just going there and like, all right, time to huck some crap.
It
All right,
feels
woo!
so fun just to just huck it into a
Yeah.
bunch of
Oh.
other like
Oh.
like taking like a broken fan and throwing it as far as you
See ya.
can.
Yeah, see how far you
Great.
can throw it.
Yeah.
You hit anything?
Just like javelin it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so that was fun. That was the first part of my weekend. I cleared that up. My gate's kind of a wreck. I probably want to rebuild the gate that's going to be going over this third area. But I also had to call the city and get lines drawn, like the
Yeah,
whole
the
dig line
411.
thing.
Gotta
So I
dig-
called the
know before you
811
dig.
dig thing, and they came out to my house. They did some painted lines showing where different utilities are and stuff. The reason I had that is there's this like plastic box at the bottom of my gravel, and I think it's for electrical or water. Wasn't sure until they marked it up. It looks like it's for electrical, but it was one of those ones you can't access unless you have their special key. Or you can go find one at Home Depot. I guess they sell those keys for those too. But my guy was just going to pour a form around it and then put a hatch on top, and that's that.
Okay.
Simple enough. But yeah, no, I had to do all that before I could have him go in. Now he's going to go in probably in the next week or two here. Take care of that. That'll be really cool. And totally unrelated to all this, just because that was kind of a fun little detour for the day. I went on a few walks, got some exercise in,
Yeah.
felt good about it. You know, bigger guy like me, I got to make a point to do that because it's easy to be lazy and get sucked into watching something. But I made a good point to do that, took the dog with me. And then on Sunday, I decided that instead of just putting my headlight back into the Jag like I probably should have, I was like, you know, this thing is, the seal's broken on it. It's got kind of, you know, condensation on the inside that shows up occasionally. It also was turning kind of that yellowing and stuff around the outside. I'm like, man, I don't know how much of this is on the inside, how much is on the outside. So I really just decided, okay, I'm gonna pull this thing apart. So I did what everybody else apparently does and stick your headlight in the oven, which sounds crazy.
Delicious.
And
Sounds
Liz,
delicious.
Liz was very nervous about it. She's just like, "Are you sure this is okay? It's not gonna like
Yeah.
something gonna
She's
happen."
like, I cook in there.
Yeah.
But then
Isn't
you
that
know
that
what's
new
funny?
oven or
That's the way you do it. Like if you can get your spouse to agree that yes, you're okay putting that in the oven. I didn't bully my way in, but I just said this is what's happening, so I just did it. But in other cases, I watched a lot of videos online, and what a lot of these guys do is they'll take a cardboard box and they'll cut a hole in it and they'll put a heat gun in the box, and I'm like, to
Create
me
this
that just
mini
looks like a
oven.
recipe for a fire,
it's
but
like a mini oven.
they all insist it will not catch fire. You just want to make sure that you redirect the air so that it isn't immediately touching the headlight. You just kind of separate it over a little bit. You put a lid on it, cut a little air hole for ventilation, and you got yourself a little oven you can keep in your garage. It's like, oh, okay. That's how like Chris Fix and all these other guys did it. It was interesting. But at any rate, got that. Started to attempt to separate the lens, which is the meh part, the plasticky part on the front, from the housing, and discovered, oh, this sealant that they've got on there, that black stuff, when it's heated up, that's the whole point. You're heating it up so you can separate this out. It took me a good 30 minutes of fighting this thing because you're so afraid. You don't want to crack anything. You
Yeah.
don't want to split anything. But you're just there fighting it. And the colder it gets, the more rubbery it becomes and the harder it becomes until you got to put it back in the oven again. So I had to do it twice
Multiple
in
cycles.
the oven just to get it to a point where I could get it. But once you feel that initial like, oh, okay, we got it, then you pull it apart like a freaking grilled cheese sandwich. Like it's
Delicious.
Delicious.
yeah, except instead of being delicious melted cheese, it is disgusting.
How great
Buell
would that be
rubber
though
melted.
if it was melted cheese inside your?
That'd be good.
your
I wouldn't
lens?
recommend eating that. Don't eat that.
You would
but-
It's like this is all just melted cheese. What the heck?
Yeah, but that was a bit of an experience. And then the worst part, Anthony noticed this, and I I figured this out just from watching videos online is, okay, you got it separated. You pulled them apart now. You got to remove all that old butyl rubber before you can put a new sealant on. Whatever you're going to put on there, you got to remove all that old stuff. So what do? You sit there. And I did this last night, and I'm not even done yet. With a little flathead screwdriver, just scraping away, trying to peel it and pull it.
So Dane,
like freaking Laffy Taffy off of
I highly recommend taking a heat gun and warming it up.
Yeah.
Because if you can pick an edge, you can actually
Peel
start
it off.
carrying that edge with it as long as you keep
if
the
I
heat
could
gun
get it
on.
to carry longer than a centimeter, I'd love that.
No, you need somebody. So you
There's
need
a
had
heat
a
gun
heat
on the
gun.
floor.
Well, you need
that I
Liz
tried a
holding the
little
heat
on it.
gun as you're going. So you're going to start
Okay.
picking, and what you're going to start doing is taking the
Date night.
screwdriver, is just start guiding it underneath as she's heating it up, and then give it a break, peel it up, and you'll peel up maybe 2 to 3 inches at a time.
And that's the difference between what you're suggesting and what I did was I heated the whole thing up,
That's
and
too
then I
long.
went on it, but I didn't
Cools down.
continuous okay,
keep
get it,
peeling,
get it. I didn't do it that way. I just heat the whole thing up. Okay, now race against time and go and try and get as much as possible. And it's
But with how far you're
nightmare.
into this job, though, Dane, I mean, I'd highly recommend you clean out the back of those lenses. I'd also maybe even recommend hopefully, is the coating on the front of the lens still in good shape?
Well, he was working on it last night. How'd it
I was
go?
polishing it. It's still kind of scuffy. I could use you guys' help with that. I'm just not as good at this stuff.
If you'd rather shoot it with 2K clear,
I have 2K clear at home that I plan to
which
shoot it
two-
with.
Was
Like,
it not
you get
wasn't
the-
on your stories, was it?
did you get
No.
the Spray Max? It's
I
called
didn't get Spray Max. So if you have a suggestion,
Then you didn't get 2K clear.
Dane, Spray
Okay.
Max is literally it is God's nectar for painters.
Beautiful
it was
clear.
either that
It
or
is-
PPF.
No,
So,
it is or you can PPF. Yeah, PPF
But-
would be fine as well.
The clear, but
The 2K clear is
The clear in my
Speed Max
video,
2K
the clear
clear.
in my video was not for the lens. It
Okay.
was for the
Oh.
black, which I'm also
Okay,
doing.
phew,
I'm
'cause that was
painting-
just Rust-Oleum
No, that's
clear.
just Rust-Oleum clear. That's
So.
for the black inside the housing. That's not for
Don't
the
put
lens.
too much because if you put too much clear, it starts to turn it white and milky. Trust me, I know
Not
this.
trying to do that either.
Okay.
You're good. I put
so I would
one
PPF
coat
the
on it
headlights.
so far.
I just
yeah,
PPF them.
I would do.
Yeah. So basically, I'm blacking out that headlight so I can have a 50-50, look at the car and be like, I like that or I don't like it. And because I'm crazy, I also
What if you don't like it?
then I was about to.
you do.
No, last night I bought another headlight. So that's what I'm trying to say is, worst comes to worst,
crap.
I've got another passenger set headlight
Oh,
coming
you
in.
did.
So
Okay.
I'm
Wow.
fine.
Glad you
How-
think of
Okay,
everything.
Dane, may I ask,
Yes.
how much does a Jaguar headlight go for?
The one I got was a lot less than they normally go for new.
Okay, that's
Did you
good.
go to the junkyard to get yours, or did you buy it from a
No,
scrap
but I
yard
bought
on
it from
eBay?
someone who probably pulled it out of a junkyard.
eBay? Is it eBay? Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. I'm
Yeah,
guessing
it was a used one on
a couple
eBay,
$100.
$300.
Okay, that's about
But
right,
a new one costs about $1,100.
So
yeah, that's insane.
future gold diggers for you and me.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some Jag
You
headlights.
find some
Yeah.
XK headlights and
Yeah.
you got yourself
Make some
yeah,
serious
but like
money.
everybody
Just
there,
refinish them and put them back on.
if you find a luxury car headlight in good shape that has like the motorized leveling and stuff like that, that's worth something to someone, definitely. So
Levi, I think
if
I
you
found
find
out-
them out there,
Honestly, Levi, me and you
couple
could make a
Jags out there?
business out of that. We
Just
literally
saying.
just go pull
Just
headlights,
saying.
polish them up, get them perfect, start putting them on eBay, start flying off the shelves. The ride company says, "Why are we shipping out all these headlights for you guys?" And we're like, "Don't worry about it. Pocket change."
yeah. So that was my point was, worst comes to worst, I'm treating this as a personal experiment because I
Yeah.
want to have the experience of doing
Yeah.
this
At least
stuff.
you can say you did
if
it.
I screw it up, fine. I
Yeah,
got a
I love
replacement
it.
headlight, and it didn't cost me nearly as much as some of these other ones would. So
Good.
I'm okay with it because what I want to do is if I decide I like it, I'm just going to Travis anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I don't ever want to scrape sealant off this ever again.
Yeah,
It's miserable.
hard.
And when you watch these videos, the guys make it look so easy.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, once you're done with that, and I'm like, okay, you made that look like 5 minutes. I know that took you 5 hours.
Yeah. No, it makes
Just
sense.
saying.
Well, okay. So besides the headlight, you do anything else this
Yeah.
weekend?
So that was kind of the majority of my time. Other than that, it was just passing time in different ways, trying different polish combinations on the lens, all that stuff. So really, I don't have a lot going on currently other than that I'm able to talk about right now because we've got some plans. But yeah.
Cool. All right. And then Express Cafe this weekend?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Dane
delicious.
got the
I
chicken
pulled
chicken fried
Express.
steak.
I got the chicken fried steak, screwed up my UK cut. Didn't gain any weight though. It merely stayed the same because
Yeah.
I think a lot of my exercise this weekend kind of offset that. So
Must be nice.
not great, but not terrible either. So
Nice.
there's that. Any rate, that's enough about me. What about you guys? Levi, what'd you do?
So I had a great weekend. Had a detail to do. Fun fact: the guy that the truck that I detailed, he ended up selling it to one of my cousins. So that was odd. But big red Chevy pickup, 3/4 ton. It was probably a 2007, 2008. Really nice 3/4 ton, bright red, Victory
V8?
red, diesel. Had a Duramax in it,
Dang.
black leather, beautiful truck.
Ooh, wow.
So just interior detail, exterior just Uno and bead maker on it. Did that on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday evening, took the kids to the Holiday Inn.
Ooh, yeah. For the big night.
Yeah. So took them to the Holiday Inn, let them hop in the pool, did some swimming. Then Carly and I hopped them out of the pool, got them dressed, took them down to. Oh, I've got a drink, thank you, Anthony. Took them down to Cracker Barrel for dinner. Needless to say, the reason I love Cracker Barrel is because of the fact that my children will eat anything on that menu.
Well, and the fact that you feel like your family there.
Feel like your family there. They make you feel welcome. You enjoy yourself. You can spend some time. So much so, you guys will recall that I detailed the managers of our local Cracker Barrel who had a set of Koenig wheels on his Honda CR-V.
Throwbacks, yeah.
Sitting down, having a nice meal. He comes by.
Yeah.
Hey, man, just want you to know the wife loved her car. Did a great job on it. I said, oh, thanks, Eric. He said, just so you know, I know it's been a couple years. I haven't forgotten. I would like to have you guys come down here, do a podcast.
Oh, man.
No way.
Live from my Cracker Barrel.
Oh, man.
Wow.
He goes, I am just trying to get the logistics worked out when I can make sure that we're staffed appropriately for when you guys can do
We
that.
could come in when they're not even
and that's what
open. Like, we could come in, like, when it's just, like, low-key, like...
That's what I told him. I
Yeah,
said,
if
we
you
can come
run
in.
to
The
shop,
problem
just
is,
set it at an
remember,
odd hour.
guys, they're open breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm just trying to work out the best timing on a day that I could get you guys to come in at a certain time. And I said, I'm going to let you handle it. I appreciate you coming and letting me know that. It means a lot, you know, and I know the fans of the Rag Company podcast would also appreciate it.
Yeah.
So it's still in the works. It's
Okay.
still in the books
Hasn't
for
forgotten.
us
That's
to
awesome,
do a live. He has not forgotten. So I had myself the country sampler,
Delicious. Ooh.
meatloaf,
Oh, my gosh.
chicken and dumplings,
No way.
and a hunk of ham.
A
Sugar cured ham
warm ham. It's hot ham, right?
with the bone in it, Anthony. With the bone in it,
My.
With, like, the ham hock.
the ham hock
wow.
bone. Then got myself some macaroni and cheese, some fries, and some hash brown casserole. Kids got Augie and Hadley got breakfasts.
Yeah.
Hadley got pancakes, eggs, bacon. Augie got the sourdough French toast, eggs and bacon.
And take a wild guess. They didn't finish it.
No. So I finished all mine. Carly also got pancakes, the mama's big pancake breakfast or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Got pancakes, eggs, bacon, hash browns, all that stuff. I ate all my food.
Yeah.
I then proceeded to eat my children's leftovers. Because it's Cracker Barrel. Can't let that stuff go.
sure.
Right?
Well, no, because it's literally made from scratch every single
Every
day.
day.
So
It's
and those
delicious.
things don't hold up
No.
because there's no preservatives.
So, fun fact,
Right, Dane?
Carly, when we were sitting there, Carly was sitting there. She was eating one of the muffins. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, my gosh. Or the biscuits. She's like, you know what I miss the most when I worked here? I
Yeah.
said, what? She goes, having biscuits, grabbing a soda, and pulling a biscuit right when they came out of the oven.
oh, they could do that
They
there?
could do that. The
Oh my
servers would do
gosh,
that. They'd
wow.
grab a hot biscuit right out of the oven, right
Yeah.
when it gets done, the plate. She's like, they make them scratch right there. So she's
What
like,
luxury.
it's delicious. Put a little butter on it. She's like, it's insane.
That's,
So
that's a perk of working
Now-
there. It really is what it is.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Before you go too much further, before Chris leaves thinking this is like a thing. Chris Machado here. Let me throw it up on the screen.
hey, Chris Machado.
Saying, hey, new to the channel, just curious if you guys answer questions. Yes, we do. We do a show
On
called
Thursday.
Q&A Thursdays
Yeah.
on the main channel, the Rag Company YouTube channel. This is the Rag Company podcast channel where we kind of talk about our weekends. We have more discussion. Occasionally, yes, there are
Honestly,
detailing things.
type in the Rag Company and subscribe to all 3 channels.
But I want you, before you run away thinking like we don't talk about detailing at all, Q&A Thursday is where it's at. If you want questions answered, check out Q&A Thursdays by the Rag Company. You won't be disappointed. There's tons to look at there. And we will be doing it this Thursday, as we always do, at 2:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Just wanted to make sure you got
There you
that.
go.
God bless Dane.
So anyway, after we had our delicious dinner, headed back to the hotel. Did some swimming, got back in the bed, decided to, call it a night about 10 o'clock. Needless to say, Carly and I got no sleep.
Oh, really?
Augie snored and passed out and was just like dead to the world. Hadley, completely awake
Yeah.
the whole night, telling us every single reason why she couldn't sleep.
She's so cute. I would
Yeah,
talk
it
to her
was-
about that.
It was like, so we were asking her, it was cute. We asked her questions.
Yeah.
She's like, well, your phone's on. And I said, okay, well, let me
that off
let
for
me
you.
turn so that my phone isn't shining on you. And I turned my screen down as I was laying in bed, and I had a headphone in. And then she's like, the shadow that is being cast on the wall from the back of your thing is very bright and it's bothering me. And then she'd hear people in the parking lot. Anyway, needless to say, Carly and I didn't sleep much. We played musical beds with the kids because they'd climb into one of our bed or anyway. So
Are they just not good at sleeping in unfamiliar locations?
yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
anyway, we got done, went to have breakfast in the morning, walked downstairs. Apparently this Holiday Inn, you have to pay for breakfast.
Oh,
Kids eat free as long as the adult buys.
if only it had been
So,
two sweets.
Let me just tell you this. By the time I checked out of the home to suite, the Hilton, or not the Hilton, the Holiday Inn,
Yeah.
I wanted to be back at the home to suite.
That's what I'm getting.
Wow.
I literally got in the car and I told Carly, I said, with our rate, our corporate sponsorship by Home to Suites,
Yeah.
we could have just done the night there.
Yeah.
We would have had free breakfast. We still would have had the great pool, the great ambiance, and the real feeling of home.
No hot
that you
tub
feel.
though.
No hot tub, but a real feeling of home.
Yeah.
Right? So
The staff like you there.
the staff
That's always
love us
a good
there.
start.
They're all big fans of the Rag Company podcast. So point is, I just said next time we do this, we're doing it there. We're gonna do it at Home to Suites, and the kids had fun. Their favorite takeaway of the whole experience: the cordless telephone in our room. They couldn't believe that. They were making phone calls to me and Carly once they figured out how to use it.
Oh, boy.
They thought it was the most hilarious thing in the world was to make phone calls, which was actually quite funny. So anyway, came back home, worked on the truck, finished it. The guy came, picked it up. I scheduled his new truck and his wife's truck for the next couple weeks.
Okay.
I booked out till the end of May.
Jeez.
Now, and then I did a ton of yard work, which was then horribly destroyed by the windstorm that we had later in the evening that completely just
That was some
ransacked.
wind.
But that
Yeah.
was my weekend. Nice, simple, easy, just a chill, hang out kind of
did all
deal.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony,
Very nice.
tell us about your weekend. How'd it go?
My week was pretty busy. Did quite a bit. Friday night, had to have my wife had to have a hard conversation with me, a hard love conversation.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
She says, "Hey,
Time
so
to get rid of one of the dogs.
She's no kind
that
of.
would never happen.
She said, "Hey, we need you need to figure out what you're gonna do with one of your motorcycles."
Oh, the words you were most scared to hear.
And she's like, "It's been a week. You got your new motorcycle." She's like, "You need to figure out something to do. What's your plan?" And I said, "Well, my plan is to move your crap out of the garage and make more." I'm kidding. So, kidding.
That Evo's
No.
looking real
Yeah.
Like
dusty
all our
in the
Christmas
corner.
decorations are going
So
for sale.
all the Christmas gone. No. So she really wanted to know. She said seriously. She's like Anthony. She's like you have 6 vehicles.
Yeah. And he said,
And I said
Levi's dad has 12.
And I'm like, I have 6 vehicles. What are you talking about? I'm like, she's
Anybody
like,
ask Gabe how many he has
Yeah,
lately?
she's like, you have 6. She's like, you can only drive one at a time. She's like, I can only drive the truck out of those 6 vehicles. She's like, you're paying insurance on 6 vehicles. And I said, you're not wrong.
right.
And that makes a lot of sense.
Cheaper by the half dozen.
And she basically said, the bike, I got to figure out a bike to probably get rid of. She's like, I'm not going to make you get rid of the Evo. I'm never going to, she's like, I'm going to ask those things of you.
that's a mistake.
But she says, but the motorcycle, she's like, you have 2 of
Until
them.
the child comes.
She's like, you have to figure out something to do. So I kind of had to create a plan. I said, you're right. So
Yeah.
I am going to, so here's what I had to do. I had to go out and ride the bikes.
Oh, you had to, yeah.
I had to
it's like an episode of The Bachelorette.
I had
or
to
The
go.
Bachelor.
I had to go.
You had to know which one you were going to be given a rose to.
I had to go
Revitalize.
take them for a spin just to kind of figure out what my plan was. So basically, what I've come to the conclusion is I can't get rid of the Triumph. I love the Triumph way too much.
Yeah.
It is my mountain. It is my mountain carver. It's my fast bike. It's my fun bike. It's
the Anthony.
It is the. It thing is just it's hard to replace, and the sound of the triple engine is just amazing. So, with that said, I rode the Grom and I said, yeah, this is probably going to be the one. So sadly, the Grom, I've had a great 5 years with it. I've owned that freaking bike longer than anybody I have ever known to own a Grom for. Mm-hmm. It's been a ton of fun, but it's the least practical. It'll get me it won't get me as far as anything else I have will. And
but what's funny is it's also going to get you the least return on investment. It's probably the cheapest to insure. It has the smallest footprint in your garage.
All those things.
It is all those things. Although it is kind of the clout master on online.
Yeah, it's
unfortunately the bikes you like the most, they just don't have the traction.
I know.
So I understand that's a mental
What about
calculation.
doing like a giveaway, but a coupon or a ticket giveaway?
Coupon. Yeah, thought about offering a coupon.
Do like something like that.
I don't know what my plan is, man, but I basically it's just I gotta figure out I gotta figure out what to do. So I told her, I said, hey, can you at least give me like 2 months to figure out my plan? And she says,
jokes on her riding season.
And she's like, oh fine. She's like, you can have your 2 months to figure it out. But she's like, really, it has to be gone by like June. I said, okay. So I need to find somebody that wants to buy it, but I think I'm going to take off all the parts. It's just got a lot of expensive stuff on it, so I think I want to strip it down, then sell it.
Leave it stock, sell it, and sell the parts.
And sell the parts because I think I'll be able to get more money out of it. But it's a fun bike, but it's something that I love it. It's not irreplaceable though.
True.
If it comes down the road where I was
like
man,
your like the new BMW and the Triumph, those are going to be hard to duplicate.
The Triumph I can't duplicate. I literally can't duplicate it.
It's a limited edition.
It's like a limited.
No, but I mean like both bikes.
Yeah, it's
the Triumph because of the limited edition ability of it and the fact that you've had it for so long. You can't just go out and find another
It came with its own watch.
Yeah.
It has a special watch for that thing. Yeah. Right? If I were to sell that bike, I would be like, well, I guess here's the watch that goes. I guess I'm crying.
Only the finest vehicles come with extra clothing.
I also need to learn
attached.
how to let some things go, and I feel like the Scrum is a great way to start. Yeah. Start small.
That's
I'll work my way up, and eventually we'll be having a conversation where I say, guys, I'm selling my Evo, and I'm really sad. But
that'll be a very sad day, but it'll be bittersweet.
It will be. So anyways, that was my Friday night. Saturday, woke up. I had a lot to do Saturday. It was a beautiful day. It was the start of a beautiful day.
Was.
I needed to go test the seats out, my new Corvo seats out on the mountain, but I needed to. I was going to take some pictures of my car, my drums in the rear, my new drums that I got were starting to rust bad. Like they looked
cleaned
like,
them up, painted them,
haunt my dreams bad. So. I thought they were zinc coated, but they just weren't. And so what I ended up doing, I popped them off. And to paint drums, it's about as easy as it's a piece of cake. And so took them off. I actually used rust remover instead of sanding them. I thought that would be the easiest. So I just hit it with a rust remover, rinsed it. After that, laid a really thin coat of just an all-purpose primer on them, just to kind of set some things up. And then I shot them with just caliper paint. It's just a high-temp caliper paint. And shot them in black. But what you want to do is you want to mask off the hub in which the wheel mounts to, right? Yeah. So for this, basically, bunch of tape, cut a ring around it with a razor blade, so now the hub is all cleared. So basically, just like in our coating video for the wheels that we did with the BBS, you typically don't want to coat the hub because it can make that surface not as level, right? And so you could be off balance. So anyways, did that, adjusted the drums. I actually did a good job. I can't believe it. I was inspecting my work, and I said, wow, there's no leaks, there's no issues, everything's nice and smooth. So I was pretty proud of myself on the drum situation. But shot those, painted them, coated them immediately after shooting them, about an hour after in C1. And what was crazy is it actually helped the paint cure faster. I was able to touch the paint without leaving any type of handprints or marks or anything and throw them on. Wow. And they looked amazing. They looked really, really good. And so
Seabass said that or something. Noticed him the other day, or was it Jimmy, where they were looking at your
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, what'd you do back here? This looks really nice."
Yeah, and so just shot them in black, and then I put C1 directly over the top. So, fun fact, you can put C1 over something spray paint after a short period of time, and there's really no ill effect, because I believe that C1 is still semi-permeable, just like
And that was
the
just the
CSL.
paint. There was no clear or anything in between those.
No
Okay,
clear.
just C1
No
on
clear.
top.
And I
Nice.
put C1 on, and I thought there was going to be residue coming off.
Yeah.
No residue.
Yeah.
It was a perfect, it
Nice.
went on there perfectly. So did that, basically took the Civic up into the mountains, up to Bogus, hit some curves. Seats feel fantastic. Everything feels pretty good. And then I got a message literally on my way home from that mountain. Guy on Instagram says, "Hey man, I know you're looking for a set of rear trailing arms with rear discs. I got some for you. Off of an EM1 SI, I've got the valves for it. I have the lines for it and everything. Almost everything you need. You need to buy a couple more brake lines." He's like, "You just pay for shipping. I'll send them out to you." Sends me pictures of them. And I'm like, well, I just spent $30 on spray paint and spending half my day painting these stupid things just to
man.
replace them. That
Don't
was
tell
dumb.
me you're gonna pass up that opportunity.
Heck no, I know I passed up that
Good.
opportunity,
Yeah.
right?
Good.
So now I have some rear discs on the way
Nice.
for true performance stopping ability.
Like in our junkyard tour, you were looking, you found that
Yeah.
Integra.
So, anyways, so
Now that you got yours sorted, we need to go to the junkyard
yours.
and get the GT rear on the
yes.
for the Elantra, so
Get
I can
that
have a rear
Tibby.
disc. I need the rear disc set up as well.
yeah. So, anyway, but so I did that, and then Saturday night, I think that you guys will think that this story is pretty funny.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Or was it Sunday night? I can't remember which night it was. No, it wasn't Saturday night. Oh no, yes, no, it wasn't Saturday night. So in Sunday morning, woke up. This was the beautiful day. This was like the 70-degree day.
It was an insane day. It was
Couldn't
like
believe it, man.
58 on Saturday, and all of us were like, kids
yeah.
were jumping in swimming pools, and it was 56 degrees.
Yeah.
I was seeing on Facebook and Instagram all these people
Out in
and
swimming suits and stuff,
And then
and-
the next day it was 70.
Yeah.
And it was like hot.
And then
I turned
Monday
the
was
AC on in
frigid.
turned the AC on in my house because it was
That
so
was
hot.
quite a
It
leap.
was crazy. So I said, you know what? This is the day I'm going to go put some
Yeah.
more miles on this
Yeah,
bike. So I
yeah.
jumped on the
Heck yeah.
scrambler.
Beautiful
and,
day.
I did a whole loop of Boise. Drove by my old my rental property. You know, my other house, right? Just go check on it. Looks great. Looks like nobody even lives there. Like it looks like they've just been maintaining everything. And I was like, that's good. And they built some really nice houses in front of that house. And so I was like pumped on that. But did a whole loop, went all the way down through Warm Springs, went through Harris Ranch, went by, the Harris Ranch. They're kind of they're building out that area. It kind of looks like Bound Crossing, and it's got like a
the ranch market's out there.
the
They've got a
ranch
coffee
market.
shop. They've got a still. They've got the Lucky 13
Yeah.
pizza joint. There's a ton of stuff going on out there.
It's very hoity-toity.
So they're getting ready to build out the. So they're getting ready to build out the town center for Harris Ranch.
Yeah.
That's why the road's closed right now.
That's
They're
what
getting
that
ready to
is.
build that
Okay.
town center there, which is going to be pretty much like a copy of Bound Crossing.
Wow.
So really going to be
Dude, it was pretty.
going to get fancy out
I
there.
pull up, right, and there's a couple Jags parked outside. There's an 8 Series BMW. There's some other stuff.
weirdo 6 Elantra sitting there
All
getting
these
a Pepsi.
people, all these people on their bicycles, because it's a bunch of those East Boise bicyclists
Yeah,
that
they
are
ride
out
everywhere.
there.
The tag.
Well, they got those like $1,000 bikes or $2,000 carbon
that's
bikes.
what I have,
you
one
know,
of those, yeah.
But I pull up on a BMW and I'm like, hey guys, do I fit in here?
You do, yeah.
Mind if I park the bike here? I'm gonna go inside. Keys rigging the ignition.
Excuse me,
if
sir.
have
Do
to
you
move
drink
it.
Fiji water?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, felt pretty cool. But anyway, so I ripped on it, dude. I was riding around for I think 4.
Hold on. What's going on in here?
What?
Oh my! Thank God!
Oh my gosh,
Thank
they
God.
came.
It's
What?
about freaking.
Oh,
time.
wait, is this
So
what we
those
think
guys
it is?
wondering, Gabe just walked in and was like, "It's
Oh,
here."
they're here.
I hated to interrupt, but we've been here. Go ahead, big guy.
I have waited. I have waited. Literally, what's
It's almost been
12 weeks.
12 weeks.
It's been a few months. Yeah.
12 weeks I've waited for these freaking things. These are for our Subaru WRX STI. These
We are
Fortune
very
Auto
excited.
coilovers. They're heavy.
So the worry we
Most
had was
importantly,
that
they're here.
the car's getting done. It's almost buttoned up, and we still were waiting for those parts.
dang
This is the
coilovers,
last
we
list
waited
of parts that
forever.
we have gotten, and we were wondering what was going on. Well, here was the issue. the company that manufactures the springs
The
for the
Swift.
Fortunato,
Springs.
Swift,
Yeah.
was behind in production
Yeah,
on their
Fortune
end.
seemed like
And
they did everything
so they were
could.
just waiting. So Fortune was saying, hey, soon as Swift gets the springs to us, we can get those sent and we can get those sent out. And so needless to say, it was a long time. And we even made a remark about it yesterday that hopefully we'd be getting them we'd find out something within the next couple of weeks.
So if you're watching and you know how nice those are, you'll be excited for the
they're
Subaru
really
project.
nice.
Those are very,
Anyway,
very nice.
we're on like a 4-hour ride, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one thing I'm trying to get used to, air temperature or the engine temperature on an air-cooled motorcycle.
Yeah.
It is much different.
Runs
than
cooler?
A water.
Runs hotter because it's got liquid.
Let's just
Have
say.
you ever driven a classic Porsche?
So guys,
or
so here's the
Volkswagen?
deal. I like to ride my bikes, and I ride them pretty good. I mean, I don't baby them like I do my
Yeah.
cars. I ride the bikes pretty hard, and so the bike was sitting at like about 250, 255, riding around normal right around like the normal temps. But when you stop at a stoplight, it's when it starts to rise up. And I was starting to see temperatures of like 260 something on there, and I was starting to get kind of stressed because technically the bike won't overheat until it gets to about 315 degrees Fahrenheit. 300 is about where it gets to, but it creeps up fast, right? So I started seeing a temperature, I think it was on the freeway, and I started seeing a max temp of like 279, and I was starting to like really stress out because I was thinking, because it's not something I can ride for long periods of time.
It is. You just got
And,
to keep moving. That's the
It is.
game.
It is. And so I'm basically trying to get used to it. Looking at the temperature gauge is something you probably shouldn't even do on the bike. You should just ride it. But it's one of those things I was kind of stressing about. But I rode it for 4 hours, man. Went all around. And it was just nice. It's a ton of fun. So I put on another 250 miles on it. So
How many have you done now?
gosh, I think right now, I'm almost close to 900 miles.
Jeez.
Nice.
So
And you've
about-
had it how long?
It's amazing.
1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I love that.
It's awesome.
dude, I love it, man. It's a blast. It's so much fun. So did that, and then I have one story for you.
Ooh.
I don't want it to be inappropriate though. So I'm gonna try to I'm gonna censor this to the best of my ability.
Here,
Okay,
inappropriate here. Oh boy.
So I got home. Katie said, "Hey, I know you just got home." She's like, "I'm craving Olive Garden. Are you down?" And I said, "I really am doing good on my diet. I'm down 10 pounds officially." And I said I could probably eat maybe a couple breadsticks and maybe a little bit of salad. She's like, "Okay, go get it." Hop in the truck, right? Drive down to my Olive Garden. We already placed the order. It was just a pickup situation. And so I park up in the spot. Girl comes out. "Hey, what's your name?" I tell her my name. She says, "Okay, I'll be right back." So I see her walking out the door. She's got my bags, right? And it's been like an etiquette thing for me. So whenever I am getting handed off any type of food, I always do a little quick hit of hand sanitizer, right? So in my hand sanitizer bottle, I have a pop top like you would a compound bottle, right? And it is a clear bottle, and it's my own homemade sanitizer, right?
Right.
So it's a thicker, like gel type of liquid. And so we had a hot day that day, right?
Yeah. It's
And so
expanded.
she's walking up to the car and up to the truck. I had the window down, and I'm shaking this thing up, right, just to get it ready.
no.
And I pop the top, right, and it goes, whoa, it flies up, right, all over this. So it flies up all over the ceiling, guys. I'm talking like it was like a large amount. And so it flies up and it starts dripping off the headliner, right? And it's on the steering wheel. I'm covered in this, like I'm talking like it was
You're covered in
it
hand
was
sanitizer.
an insane amount of hand sanitizer, right?
I've done that.
And
yeah.
so she walks up, right? And she kind of like gives me this weird look. Before I could even do anything, she opens my passenger door, right? And I have like this, and I'm covered in all this hand sanitizer. And literally, she opens the door and sees the drip come from the headliner. And so she kind of says, she goes, "Do you just want me to set this on the floor?" And I said, "Yes, that's totally fine." And so she's like, "Okay, have a great day." And she closes my door. And I'm just sitting there replaying everything in my head. I'm like, she's walking up. I shake up the hand sanitizer, right? I pop it, flies everywhere, and then I'm covered in this. And then she walks up. I'm like, that had to have looked.
Just know, whatever story she told to her
I
coworkers
don't even
going back
know.
inside
Like,
must have been.
I don't even know how that could have, like, I don't even, like How that happened was just
That
like
was straight out of just like a lowbrow comedy movie.
dude.
Just
And
like,
so I was driving home just dying to
40-year-old
myself. I'm
That's
thinking like, oh
hilarious.
my God, how embarrassing. I wonder what they're saying. I told Katie, she was dying laughing. She's like, that would happen to you. She's like, that stuff always happens to you. And so the chicken parmesan is
Isn't that good?
isn't that good?
I
okay.
love though that G. Davis says every inappropriate story he knows has started with Olive Garden breadsticks.
That's
There you
very
go.
true.
All right, Levi.
But anyway, so that was pretty much it, man. Just they came home, ended the night with watching a little bit of. Katie's been on a kick on of what's that show called? Veronica Mars.
Oh wow, kind of a throwback. Yeah.
Yeah, she loves that show. So watched a little bit of that. Played a little bit of some sim racing.
Sir needs some extra napkins.
And
Thank you. Ed.
yeah. So anyway, that was it, man. Just a good weekend of riding, going out and doing some painting, and so eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to do a rear disc swap on the car. No detailing. Oh, and one thing that did happen though.
Yeah.
Friend Steve over at Garage Slick, right? He has been doing a ton of dealer work and a lot of new car work, right? For people getting these brand new cars. What's happening is they're buying the car. They're actually, Dennis Dillon and places are actually bringing the car straight to them for the customer pickup at his shop.
Oh,
Nice.
People are asking about ceramic coatings because they want their car coated, their new car coated. And so he said, hey, man, I have 3 or 4 brand new cars, big cars, that are looking for a coating straight off the lot. And he said, would you be interested in doing them? And he started kind of giving me pricing on what he's been throwing out to people. And
Nice.
I'm
There you
going to
go.
be, he's like, I'll try to get as many of
Yeah.
these as you can. Because
Yeah.
I said,
Go over in the evening after work
like,
and knock a couple out.
one step and
Yeah.
a coating, I'm like, if for the
Yep.
all-inclusive prices, done deal. So I'm going to start doing that here pretty soon. I think my first job is, here in April.
Nice.
I'll knock it out. So
I like
And it's
it.
really hard to do that and not have somebody leave impressed.
yeah,
They're gonna love the way it
PPF
looks.
coating, will be
Yeah,
good.
that'd be perfect.
All right.
Nice. Well, there you go. It was a easy peasy.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was fun.
nice little week.
Yeah.
Nice little weekend. We don't have much to do this week. This week we're gonna work on the Subaru.
This is the calm before
We gotta
the
get
storm.
that done. At
Yeah.
least get the interior done before the gang arrives.
Yeah,
That's
because
what's
when
gonna
they
get
do,
fun.
it's all hands
Yeah.
on deck.
Yep.
That's all it's gonna be. All
Yeah,
week.
so we've
I
got a
am-
couple weeks left.
I'm excited
So,
for these
2
fortunes,
weeks
man.
to get this
Yes.
done before everybody shows up. So
Yep.
Yeah.
12th through the 16th in April, we're going to have the whole gang here. So you'll probably see some a lot of little live Facebook things and Instagram and all that. But the Thursday Q&A on the 15th,
That thing's gonna
going to be a winner.
All right.
Yeah.
So, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you listen to this sometime in the future, we appreciate it all. And if you haven't, please subscribe. It's how we get out in front of more people. And the other way we get out in front of more people and expand the show is when you leave a review. Could be good, could be negative, could be some constructive feedback, whatever it is, leave it on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. If you're able to leave a review, please do. If not that, leave a comment here on the YouTube video. That also helps us out. And that's really it. So until Thursday, guys, we'll catch you on Q&A Thursday. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.